Amazing Ones, we are live with Brian Allen. Brian, pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Which of your talents is responsible for us connecting?
Which of my talents? Oh gosh. My talent of the gift of gab, I guess. I'm here. I've always had that.
Yeah, who did you learn that from?
It runs in the family.
Tell me more, please.
I think at least my mom's side of the family is very much talkers.
Yeah.
And not afraid to be the person to speak up in the crowd. So.
When is her birthday, your mother?
She's a Taurus, so in April.
April. April the what? My father is a 27.
21st.
All right. April women speak a lot. I didn't say that. I was just thinking out loud. So you're the guy who does what exactly professionally?
So professionally, I wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
They call me a project manager, but that just means that I am a glorified question answerer is how I position it. But I work for a commercial real estate firm.
Oh.
And so my team is an advisory team, and so we do corporate advisory.
Do you have fun doing that?
Yeah, it changes every day. It's different every day. So describing it always isn't necessarily fun. Like people, if I just said, I advise corporate clients on where they should put a building, that doesn't necessarily sound fun.
Yeah.
But the atmosphere of the team, the people that I work with, and the outcomes that we provide, as I consider, I guess, fun. But an interesting job, if nothing else.
Yeah. What's one other thing you've done consistently over the last 3 years?
What's one thing that I've done consistently, like professionally, or?
Could be other than that, yeah.
So I will say, like, I promised myself once I turned 30, I would start to leave the country. So my trips that I would take usually before that were like always domestic. So I would do LA, or I would do Vegas, or do New York or Chicago. And so that was fun, but I was like, okay, now that I've reached 30, I think it's time to. So over the last 3 years, I've definitely traveled outside of the country.
Yeah, where did you go to?
I went to Thailand.
Wow, you didn't just travel. I think you were going to say, Canada.
No.
So you're all to the other side,
All
right?
the way to the other side, yeah.
How was that?
It was really cool. I really enjoyed myself. And it was not necessarily scary, but I was like, wow, this is a really, really big trip. But we had a really amazing time. So it was just like sightseeing, and like I felt like I actually vacationed versus the quick 3-day turnaround trip, and where work is still in my brain. I was gone for 10 days.
Wow.
So 12 days total once you include the travel.
Yeah.
And yeah, we had a really good time. So I did Thailand, and then I just got back from Mexico City.
Wow.
Yeah.
It changes your entire mindset, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
How does it
I've
make you
always
feel?
said that travel, I think it's a really good idea for both young people, and especially if you're in your early 20s, in that time frame of your life, to travel, just because it expands your worldview so much.
Yeah.
And it forces you to be outside of your bubble and just kind of see how other people live.
Yeah.
So I've been fortunate in that regard that I've been out of the country as a child. My father's Jamaican, so I've been to Jamaica.
Oh, you're a Caribbean man.
I'm Caribbean. So I've been to Jamaica, and just being able to just see where he came from, and it just expanded myself and my brother's worldview.
That's super cool, man. How does it make you feel like when you're not just the traveling, right? But the fact that you could say, hey, I'm setting a destination and then go after it and then achieve it. How does that make you feel?
It really does make you feel good. It makes me feel like the work that I do is worth something. So whether I did what I did now or not at all, but that 40 hours that I put in to get the paycheck at the end of that 2 weeks, it's like, okay, it's for something. I did something with it. I had an experience that I wouldn't have otherwise had.
Yeah.
And so it makes going back to work a little bit easier, because I can say, oh, I went and I did this amazing thing, and I have that memory. I think my friends make fun of me because I'm like, I come back from these trips and I'm like, I don't have very many pictures of things. And I'm like, well, because I feel like I can, if I wanted, especially now, I can Google something and I can get a picture of a statue, but me in front of that statue is something that you can't Google.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
that's for me, the experience of, and also the people that I share that experience with, so that 5 years from now we can look back and say, remember that one time that we went to Thailand and we did that thing.
Yeah, I feel the same way too. Like we've been traveling, and sometimes you just reach the point where you just can't take any more photos. It's just like I just need to soak this up. It's like put the camera
like I
down.
can be on the beach, but it's like, okay, it's going to be just like any other beach photo that you find.
Yeah, that's just
the memory of the beach is going to be unique to me, so I feel that's special.
Yeah, that's good. Well, let's switch gears. Let me invite you into my time machine.
Okay.
That is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. What is your earliest childhood memory?
My earliest childhood memory. It's actually funny because I can remember pretty far back. My mom and dad have always been like, "You remember that?" I can remember being like maybe 4 years old, 3 or 4 years old, and maybe just because I always have clinged to like moments with my dad is probably why I can remember that far back. But my dad used to go to the dog tracks. I don't know why that was a thing for him. Because I was born in Colorado, and so I was actually born in the Air Force Academy because he's in the Air Force. But that was like a pastime for him at that time in his life. And I just remember like us doing that together, like him taking me. And the memories, like, of course, foggy now, but I just remember like being able to look up and see these men and hear the loud noises of the making the bed and rooting for this dog or that dog. And like the smell of it is still, I can still remember the smell. I can still remember like that your feet would stick to the floor.
Because so it's like beer is sticky
the beer
on the
sticking
floor,
to the floor, and just being like in awe of like that atmosphere with him. I couldn't tell you like which dogs won or what the track looked like or anything like that, but just like kind of those short moments. So that would probably be my earliest childhood.
Why do you think it's so clear?
I think it's just clear because one-on-one time with my dad was rare, even before my brothers came into the picture. So I think that's probably why the memory of that is like clear in my mind.
How do you see that memory connecting to who you are today?
It connects to who I am today just because I have always been the type that, like when I go travel places, even if it's near or far, I remember that the world is kind of small, and so it forces me to be like, what about this memory is specific? Or this place is specific, or what about, the movie says, stop and notice the color purple, and I think I intentionally do that because of wanting to cling to memories throughout my life and not have that, and not be like, what was that time, and not have a clear memory of it. So
that's interesting. Can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Yes.
I love the idea one of the project management meant mine you whole, right?
I do.
Yeah. It's like,
okay.
It's like there's so many parts of the puzzle going on, but you notice what's necessary to make what work. Like you said, you noticed that the bets were going on, the beer was on the floor, so it was sticky, right? And you understood that the men were screaming, bawling. Well, bawling is Trinidad word, right?
Bawling is Trinidad word.
Right?
Rooting,
yes. They were rooting. Yes. But just to see you just identifying the core of the scenario from that perspective, but then from the emotional side as well, the relational side, it's interesting. So to see you do that in life now, where you're the individual, you're working and you understand the parts of that, but to see you dive into, hey, I'm going to travel because of the emotional side, I just love how that connects now, even from since then.
And I unintentionally project manage all the time. Which is I don't know if people love me or hate me for it, but
it's
definitely
who you are.
It's who I definitely am always like connecting the dots type of person. What does this mean? And I like order. Like I like there's a step, the process to everything.
It helps.
Itineraries.
Yeah,
which I don't like to be late, which I'm sorry, but
you're good. Yeah, you were on time. If we fast forward to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
12. I don't know that I don't remember what my favorite song was at 12. I do remember that the very first CD that I bought with my own money was Brandy.
Right. What was your favorite song from her?
And then she had came out with I Want to Be Down, and I just was in awe. And I was definitely like, okay, I had my little, $15 and going to the store to be like, I'm buying my first CD. I remember it. Like I did it on my own.
Oh, which is huge, like $15.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, that's Apple Music now, right?
Yeah. And I probably was maybe 13 or 4, because that would have been 1994. So I would have been, right about 12, actually.
There we
about
go.
12, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right. We've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, small declaration form.
Okay.
It's like customs. Yeah?
Okay.
Have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Have I chosen someone to
Yes
pass
or
on my
no?
skills?
Yes or no?
Yes.
Are you married?
No.
Do you have children?
No.
Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
Yes.
What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
I'd say it's probably right at 8 hours a day.
All right. That's impressive for a project manager. If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Brian, what would you say that is?
Oh gosh, a statement that represents me. I don't know. Well, I have the Serenity Prayer tattooed on my arm, which is, you can't see it all, but it's God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And
There we go.
I try to live by that one.
I love it. This is a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Civility is key. We're missing that in the world today. I think just being kind to one another. Ellen says it every day on her show. Just be kind to one another. It's really simple.
Yeah.
And easy to do. It doesn't take a lot for you to just be nice to other people.
Yeah, I love it. Brian, this was a great pleasure. Thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
All right.
Did you have fun?
I did. Thank you.
High five. Boom.